After discussing the refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab, the next topic we are going to discuss is the laws of refraction. This is an important question that may be asked for 2 marks. There are 2 points of laws of refraction. Let us discuss the first law. The first law says that the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal, that is the perpendicular to the interface at the point of incidence, all these 3 lies in the same plane. So once again, law number 1, 3 things. Which are those 3 things? The incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal to the interface at the point of incidence. All these 3 things, that is the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal or the perpendicular, all these 3 things lie in the same plane. That is law number 1. Second law, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant. For what? For a given light of given color having given pair of media. Once again, the ratio. Whose ratio? Sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction. In mathematical form, they are represented as sine I upon sine R. That is sine of angle of incidence upon sine of angle of refraction is constant. Now this particular law, that is the second law, is also known as Snell's law. Now the question might arise that what is this sine? It's a trigonometric ratio about which you will study in maths. So thing to remember is that the ratio. Which ratio? The ratio of sine of angle of incidence. With what? The ratio with the sine of angle of refraction is constant for light of given color for a given pair of media. This particular law, that is the second law, is also known as Snell's law. So a different question might be asked for 1 mark. That write the statement of Snell's law. In this particular question, you need to write only point number 2. So mathematically it is represented as sine I upon sine R is equal to constant. Now this constant is also called refractive index, about which we will study in the next lecture. So once again, important question for 2 marks. Write the laws of refraction. 2 points. First point says that the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal or the perpendicular to the interface which separates the two transparent media at the point of incidence, all these 3 will lie in the same plane. That is law number 1. Law 2 says that the ratio of sine of angle of incidence with the sine of angle of refraction will always be constant for the light of given color and for a given pair of media. The second law is also known as Snell's law. Mathematically, this line, the Snell's law, can be represented as sine I upon sine R, where sine I is sine of angle of incidence upon sine R, that is sine of angle of refraction, is constant, and this constant is termed as refractive index, about which we will discuss in the next lecture. Hello dear students, we are discussing chapter number 10, light, reflection and refraction. Till now, we have discussed the reflection of light using plane mirror as well as spherical mirrors. Now, when we were discussing about mirrors, we were discussing about reflection of light. Now, today, we are going to take another topic, that is topic 10.3, refraction of light. In the previous lectures, we already have discussed what is the difference between reflection and refraction. Now again, let us understand what do we exactly mean by the term refraction of light. Before I give you the definition of refraction of light, let us discuss certain phenomena that we see in our everyday life. Now all those phenomena are related to refraction of light. The first phenomenon, that is the printed material, when you look through a glass slab, it appears to be raised. Dear friends, you might have seen that when a paperweight, which is in the form of a rectangular glass slab or even around a spherical glass, when it is kept on any printed material, then the letters appear to be raised. That appearance is due to the same phenomenon, that is refraction of light. The second example that we see is a pencil kept in water in a glass. You can do this activity at home also. Take a glass, fill it half with water, and then immerse a pencil or a pen in it in such a way that half of the pencil is inside the water and half of the pencil remains outside. Now when you look at the glass from the outside, you will see that pencil appears to be broken from the middle part where the two phases meet, that is the water and the air. The appearance of pencil to be broken, actually pencil is not broken, but when you view from the side, it appears to be broken, and that appearance is also due to the same phenomenon, that is refraction of light. One more example that we see is that when a lemon or amla is immersed in a salt solution and put in a glass jar, when you look from outside, it appears to be larger than its actual size. Right? So when you take out that amla or lemon from water and then you see its size will be smaller than what actually it appears when it is immersed in water and kept in a bottle. Again, the phenomenon is same, that is the refraction of light. One more example, the bottom of swimming pool. Now dear friends, this summer season, right? This year you won't be accessing the swimming pools, but generally when you are on holidays and when you go to any swimming pool, then you might have seen that the bottom of the swimming pool appears to be raised than its actual depth. This phenomenon is also due to refraction of light. Now how does the refraction of light affect all those things? The science behind this is that when a ray of light enters from one transparent medium to another transparent medium, it undergoes bending. This bending of light, it doesn't go straight, it bends with a certain angle. So this bending of light, when a ray of light enters from one transparent medium to another transparent medium, is termed as refraction of light. So once again, it's a very simple definition. Refraction of light. If a question is asked, define refraction of light, then what should be your answer? That when a ray of light enters from one transparent medium to another transparent medium, it undergoes bending. This bending of light is termed as refraction of light. So I am sure that you are very clear with the concept of refraction of light. So just we're discussing let us discuss the case of the raised bottom of swimming pool. So before the ray of light enters the water, the ray of light is in the rarer medium, that is called air. But once it enters the water, because the bottom of the swimming pool is under the water. So when the ray of light enters from air to water, now air and water both are transparent medium. So when the ray of light will enter from air into the water, it will undergo bending. And due to that bending, due to that refraction, the bottom of the swimming pool appears to be raised. So dear friends, I am very sure that you are very familiar with the concept of refraction of light. Thank you. Okay dear students, now we will discuss another topic, that is refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. In the previous topic, we studied one phenomenon that we see in everyday life, that when you see the printed matter through a rectangular glass slab, then the printed matter appears to be raised. Okay? So now we are going to perform one activity which will demonstrate refraction of light. In this particular activity, we will take a cardboard. On that cardboard, we will fix a white sheet of paper. after taking that white sheet of paper, after fixing that white sheet of paper on the cardboard, we'll take a rectangular glass slab and place it in the center of the paper. After placing the rectangular glass slab, I will draw the outline of rectangular glass slab and name its four corners as A, B, C and D. Now, we'll take a line, let us say EF, which is incident at one of the edges of our rectangular glass slab, and I will fix two pins. Let us say the names of the pins are E and F. So I took a ray which is incident on one of the faces of rectangular glass slab. On that ray, I am fixing two pins at position E and position F. Now look at the opposite side, opposite edge of the rectangular glass slab, and try to put another two pins on the images of E and F. So let us say that I got the images of E and F at position G and H respectively. I will mark those points and then I will connect the ray GH, which seems to come out from the opposite edge. After that, connect this point O and O dash. Now what actually happens over here? In this particular case, this ray EF is the incident ray. Ray EF is the incident ray. Now this ray EF enters in the glass slab at point O. So this point O is a point where two different phases, that is air and glass, are separated. So at point O, our incident ray is entering from air to glass. Now air and glass both are transparent medium, but both have different density. So when ray of light enters from one transparent medium to another transparent medium whose densities are different, it undergoes bending. See over here, this ray EF is entering the glass at point O. So at point O, our light ray is entering from rarer medium to denser medium. Air is rarer compared to glass, which is a denser medium. So as you can see that it slightly bends towards the normal. This perpendicular line is the normal. Okay, so it bends towards the normal. This line and this line are the normals or are the perpendiculars. So again, when the ray of light entered from rarer medium to denser medium, it underwent bending, and the bending was towards the normal. Now this ray will travel from O to O dash. Now here it doesn't undergo any bending because the ray of light is traveling in the same medium, that is glass. But again, at point O dash, the medium changes. Now the ray of light from denser to rarer. So again, when the medium is changed, then the bending will happen. So again there will be bending of light, but here the bending will take away from the normal. Here at point O, ray of light was going from air to glass, that is rarer to denser. So the bending was towards the normal. But at point O dash, our light ray is moving from denser medium to rarer medium. In that case, its bending will be away from the normal. So this ray GH is the emergent ray. It is known as the emergent ray. Now, see the difference. If this incident ray EF would have not undergone any kind of deviation, then it would have traveled along the straight line and you would have got this line. But instead of this line, emergent ray, we are getting this thing. So the distance between these two parallel lines, that is, you can say the distance O dash L, is known as the lateral shift. Lateral shift is observed again due to refraction of light when the ray of light was moving from one transparent medium to another. So once again, what is the main conclusion of this activity? That when a ray of light moves from one transparent medium to another transparent medium having difference in densities, then it undergoes refraction. 2 points to remember. When ray of light enters from rarer medium to denser medium, that is in this particular activity from air to glass, the bending takes place towards the normal. But when the same ray of light enters from denser medium to rarer medium, that is glass to air, again bending takes place, but this time bending takes place away from the normal. So both the bendings of light is termed as a refraction of light, and due to this bending of light two times, we see that the ray of light which should have moved along this straight line is shifted slightly on the left hand side, and this shift is known as lateral shift.